What is up, guys? Today we are going to be going over some of my gameplay that I recorded off stream, and I'm going to be showing you what is exactly going on in a 7,000 hour player's head. So of course you should always have your own drop. This should be a place that you're most comfortable with, that you've dropped a lot, and I like to drop very hot. So Picardo, I go to the boxing ring. If you know your distances from the boxing ring to parachute out of to get there pretty much faster than anyone else, you're going to get this entire place to yourself. It's really easy to fight out of. You've got many options of escape in case you want first, and you're going to be a-okay. But anything can happen, and quite fortunately usually you are quite much the first person down, so it's easy claps for the most part. But sometimes RNG does get you and you don't get a gun, which I felt myself panicking right here as I saw somebody else drop. And I didn't know if this guy actually had another gun, or he drops on an AK, Vector, anything that's scary. So literally any gun you can find that's not absolute trash weapons, sawn off shotguns, stuff like that. But he still doesn't even have a gun, so looks like the RNG isn't with either of us here. I managed to pick him up for the first blood, which was kind of nice. It wasn't a full lobby. I think it was about 95 got into this one, so we're fairly chill. C4 takes too much bag room, so you don't really want to be taking those unless you're going for some fancy car bomb clips, something like that. But try and loot as methodically as you can. Try and be as quick as you can. Here we get the barrel, which is obviously S tier weapon if you can control it. Always nice. Try and get 2'd up. I think I missed the 2 helm, but it's not too important, the helms, I don't believe. But having the 2 vest is highly important. Here we're just going to check out the apartments. Heard some shots there. I'm going to remember that there's a player there or roundabouts. And I always go to this right side across the road. Or left if you're looking at it from north. And this is like my usual looting pattern. Hear the footsteps. Just get him like quickly out of the game. Any players inside these sort of apartments or the 5 stack that I'm looking at right there, it's really difficult to get rid of them or dislodge them, especially in third person. So getting people out, catching them out, or at least baiting them out to take shots at you is really good for you. Because especially if you're going for a high kill game, you don't want to be stood around here too long, because fights drag out, and usually because it's center zone, it's not going to be out of the first circle, so nobody's really that desperate to move, and it can just be a little bit awkward at times. But it looks like we're good here. I tried to get top roof coverage because you can shoot down at people, and like I said before, it's going to bait people out of these buildings to try and shoot at you, and you get shots into them like that. So Dark takes an L here. SLR there. We're going to take that instead of the SKS, because that's pretty much like a direct upgrade for me. I'm a slow firing DMR user for the most part. So I like to be accurate more than a lot of the top players nowadays will spam a DMR or SLR, whatever they so choose. They'll be trying to spam those weapons because they can control it and keep it relatively accurate. I'm much more of a slower player. Again, guy by the garage. Shots on him. Gonna whiff. Nothing quite landed. I see the guy top right window of the 5 stack right there. He shoots at me. Grenade right to force him left. We know he hasn't moved anywhere, and the Molotov picks up the kill. That's nice. Then we get the 3 taps. See how it's like slow taps instead of spam? You don't need to get too panicky. Yes, he could have 1-tapped us. We only had the 1 lid. But just having those nice precise shots. Don't need to aim for the head. Hitting 3 to the chest with an SLR is going to do so much damage. And that's why I prefer the SLR. We got a player over here just creeping. If somebody's crouch walking like this, they're probably not a good player. Unfortunately, I missed a few easy shots at the end there, which I should have picked up. But red zone's just going to hold me in right now. But after that, it's going to be pretty easy pickings here. You've got to know your own skill level. If you're a lesser skill level player, you've got to look at somebody like this and say, okay, it's evens. I need to have the advantage in the fight. But when you have a higher skill than someone, and you know, you kind of judge your own skill and how you play the game. So here we just see him snake away. So I was like, can I get a pan up here? I don't have any nades. That can actually do quite a bit of damage if it lands. So we just lay down and we'll pick him up easily. So like I said, you could tell by the way that the guy was crouch walking that he really wasn't that much of a high tier player. But these players are great to kill because they loot everything. Like, they're like human loot bags. Like, they really are quite good for you. Sorry if that's disrespectful to many, but lesser skilled players don't just carry the essentials. They just carry everything they find because they're just excited to play the game and pick up anything that they can. So right now, I've pretty much been through the entirety of Picado, and there really shouldn't be too much for me to do here. So it's pretty much get all the scraps that I can. We have enough ammo for a few fights. Like I say, we're playing solos right here, so it's not like I've got to take on a whole squad at once. So 120 rounds of 7s in the back is more than enough, really. So we'll just go try and loot all this up. Pass an ump there. We're not going to use it this game. I've pretty much like always been using ump recently. We'll go to loot this guy up. He actually has a compensator and an extended quick, so that's really good find. We have 5. I try and stick to 5 first aids. That's like a golden rule for me. 5 first aids, 5 bandos, and boosters. Just try and get like up to like 10 total boosters, and you'll have enough for any stage of the game. Like, you should not be dying with 5 first aids, 5 bandos. Like, at least you shouldn't be bleeding out, let's say, in a fight where you just don't have anything left. By the time they've taken out 5 of your health bars, you should probably be dead. So it's pretty much a golden rule. You don't want to be using all your bag space on like 7 first aids, 30 bandos. I like to keep plenty of ammo, especially when we're looking to play aggressive. We're looking to take fights quick and not really stop to loot much. That's why I have the 5 first aids. Because I don't want to have to just stand there and like think about looting first aids. I want attachments to get my guns into the best state they can be, so I can look to win more fights and snowball the game out of control. And that's another thing that people don't really anticipate, is if you can get all your attachments early, especially in solos, you snowball ahead of the game, and people don't have the attachments, they don't know how to fight you, you're fully geared up, and you can start to just roll over people. Here we get the perfect bike for, I would say the perfect vehicle, the 2-seater bike, just to basically just cover so much ground so quickly. I think this was actually pre-dirt bike patch. I can't remember. I think it was actually pre-dirt bike. Dirt bikes are really good because they're just really agile. They run out of fuel pretty quickly, but honestly just as good as the bikes, a bit more stable. But now we're basically just driving past compounds. You see me slow down past the compound to look. I look for any doors, maybe somebody having a little peek to see what's going on. But you'll see me slow down and always pan my camera to these sort of areas. I always go on a certain loop run or kill run. And then basically just adjust your movements on shots. So this guy, I see in the top right, it says Serdo May. So we're looking for that player. This guy had an SLR, so it's most likely him. And he just killed somebody near us. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get to that kill. But a beautiful nade to bounce off the rock. Kind of lucky. I wanted to airburst just over the rock, but we're not perfect. We actually get an 8 times here, which is insane, which is great for us. And we start taking shots from far away. Just have to scout him out. See him laid down, kind of annoying. And as soon as we spot him, he starts moving. So a little bit frustrating, these sort of players. Again, we're moving up the boosters. We don't try and pick up any first aids here. I'm still rocking a 1 lid. I don't know why. I don't know if that guy actually had a 2 lid. I think he might have done. He did. I just didn't pick it up. This guy's still shooting at me. I think I get it here. Yeah, even though it's damaged, like half HP 2 lid is better than a 1 lid, I find, because the chances are you're not going to get 2 shots to the head, and it's just going to stop so much damage coming in so early. If they like heady and body you with a 2-lid, you've probably still got something to fight on. But if you got a 1-lid, you're probably dead, because the 1-lids just really don't protect you from too much. Probably it will protect you from getting 1-bulleted. Here is annoying that he got that tag. It's honestly so hard to tag people up on bikes, but we're gonna really ego chow this anyway. This guy wasn't bad, but his jump there really just ended his fight, because I could predict where he was gonna land. Again, we're always keeping eyes out here. We see the vehicle roll past, and because we're an aggressive hunt game, we're gonna chase it down. This is why I wanted to have as many meds as I could and as much ammo as I could, so I didn't have to spend time looting people. I can get like the necessary things and just really go to town, like hunting people down to get those high kill games. And obviously a bike is faster than anything on the game. We're looking to the crate there. He tries to drive by me. Unfortunately, this is the only downside of a bike. We don't have the drive-by capability. And he actually tanks so many bullets here. But fortunately for me, we get the headshot out of the back of the car, which was actually kind of nice, because it's frustrating when you get all those hit markers and you see the blood fly out and you actually get no reward for it, and they managed to get away. But we'll reload both our guns here. We'll just hop back on the bike. So this bike comes across. Unfortunately, we're not going to pick up anything there. We could probably chase that down, but it looks like it's going straight into San Martin. Now you have two options here. You can either go for the 3 crate, or you can go to chase the bike down. But I'm pretty sure yeah, here we go. So we're going to pull up. This guy's already in a fight, so this is great for getting high kill games. You want to interrupt the fight happening and then look for who he was trying to scrap. But I'm pretty sure that guy on the bike killed himself. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure there's like another box somewhere. And he actually died. So we're going to get those boosters, any 7s we can. Again, look, we're not picking up any of our first aids. There's loads around, but we're still on 5. We're boosted up. No, we're on about 5 boosters. Painkillers will fill your bar up to about 60% and energies to 40. So like using one of each will put you to max. I actually really like to just use 2 energy drinks to put me to 80, because that's going to get your health bar filling up like really quick. Backflip just for the memes. And we remember actually that a crate is over here, so we're gonna just like keep our eyes peeled for it. Again, listen for any gunshots. It might be taken at this point though, because it has been sat on the ground for about 30 seconds to a minute. But it looks chill, and it is chill, and it's my favorite weapon. So we're gonna get rid of the SLR. Even though the SLR is great, having a bolt action in solos is so good, because you just get to immediately end a game. In duos or squads, you knock them and they have a chance to get back from their boy, because if you're using a sniper, the chances are, unless you're pushing with a vehicle or your boys are already at the compound, then they're going to be rezzed. But because we got the bolt action solos, it's ridiculous. He gets the first shot there. It's actually kind of frustrating when you get the first shot as you pull up. But we have a nice throw. We have 11 kills right now with 47 up, which is pretty good. If you can be at like 10 by 60 or 10 by 50, you're on for at least a 20 plus game. Depends where the zone's finishing. But this guy was fighting someone, so we're kind of looking for him. We're trying to go slow on the bike. Try and hunt the guy down. I'm not seeing anything. So again, you don't want to waste time on people just ratting in TPP, because you can't see them but they can see you, and a lot of people don't want to fight. You know, it's a game of survival. And again, I'm slowly cruising past compounds, just like looking around them, trying to check everywhere where people might be or most commonly are, but we're not getting anything right now. Occasionally, if you've been at one side of the map for so long, go to the other, because you've probably killed so many people at that side of the map. Even if there's people still there, they're not going to find anybody to kill themselves. So you need to get to the other side of the map pretty quickly and start fighting people that might fight each other. Especially if you're looking for a high kill game, which I was doing here. People are still dropping the kill feed, and that will always happen when the zone starts closing in. Just because everyone has to move, and it forces people into bad spots or places they don't want to be. So again, we're just slowly rolling past compounds, trying to look for people. Trying to look for any vehicles parked outside houses. That's obviously the biggest tell that there's someone camping there. Or any doors open. But especially when you get into the later games, people have looted and moved on, so doors aren't always a big enough tell getting into like later stages of the game. I cut the engine just to try and hear any gunshots, but there really isn't any. It's kind of frustrating part of the game. Sometimes this happens and you're just roaming around. Hopefully somebody will try and take some lucky shots at you and miss, and then you can start playing on them. Because again, when you shoot, people are going to be looking for you, right? Because everyone loves a third party. So as soon as you start fighting, you know, things just kick off. This guy hits me with his first shot. Again, annoying when they hit the first bullet. People always do. But we've got the Big Daddy arm, so one bullet just ends the game like that. He had an SLR. That bullet actually could have killed me. But it, luckily, desync, my bullet registered first, so we get the kill. That happens, but you know, it's happened against me so much. I don't know why my bullet missed there, but sometimes he must have just stepped back. That's why when you loot, you should always be like moving, either in a circle or backwards and forth. Because then people that are aiming on you, I don't get a free shot. We're going to bait this guy into fight, but we need a ridge to play off. We can't just stop in front of his face. It's not going to work. So we get the ridge. He looks to get aggressive early. And I really did take a lot of my shots. The nade's got to come, but it's fine. We'll damage the bike a little bit, but we're up to 13 kills. We're picking up some pace now. And it looks like a lot of people are getting drawn into these sort of fights. We get the nade. They're always good. Get shot from across the road. Sting's gone. Again, always be moving when you're looting, because then that guy doesn't have those free shots to put on you. And as he's sat there, he's not leading. A lesser skilled player, you just get that quick heady. We're going to go to this guy in the rock, I believe. And just go see what he's got. Anything good. Again, if they're like a higher tier player, you can just tell either their names or what. They usually have some good stuff for you because they know what you want. Because they want the same as you, right? Because they are a higher skill player. They're not just carrying trash at this point. They're carrying like the high tier attachments because they've killed players. Such as like compensators and stuff, right? And hopefully a vertical foregrip, which I still don't have the barrel. Which isn't too bad for solos, because usually you're battling close range. But it's still nice to have. It just keeps the gun nice and stable. And you don't have to try too much. Where when you're using a barrel with no attachments, it's all over the shop and just beg. Just pull down the stick and beg it hits something. Again, roaming around these compounds, just doing it slowly, looking for people, hunting. The bike's actually like low on gas now, which is getting to be a problem. It was full. Another crate though, and that draws players in. So although it's risky to be playing around these crates, if you're looking for these higher kill games, going to these crates is, I would say, necessary. We see the vehicle roll up there, so we're gonna go have a look. There's another bike to my right, so I've just clocked that. But still, this has got a little bit of life in it, so we don't need to stop and go get the bike. Let's just get to this guy quick. Because sometimes you can hit a really nice timing, and if they're looting the crate, they haven't got the gun reloaded. This guy showers, but unfortunately loses it for him. He misses his shot. He only had a mutant. There's another guy on that ridge there, I think I saw. So here's the dilemma. Like, the barrel is a great gun, but I felt like I actually wanted double crate guns in this game. So I go check this guy for 5s. Even though he had a mutant, I believe. Unless I'm mistaken. Ah, yeah, I actually had the buggy, sorry. And we look to pick him off. He actually stands still like a paid actor. So, you know, we take the free kill there. Again, just hearing every sound definitely helps. This guy has 65s, and I think that swayed me to make the decision to swap. Getting rid of all your ammo before you get to the box because you know you're going to swap is actually a huge thing. Because otherwise, like, you just like on the box looking like an idiot, and people are going to be looking at the box. So get rid of stuff that you don't need before you get there is always a huge play. I've definitely heard something on the other side of this mountain, so I'm starting to move towards it and look for him. I thought he was up high, but I'm pretty sure you can't actually get up there. Yeah, it was the vehicle. So I'm thinking, like, where is this guy? Is he, like, playing up here? And he's actually running away. He's trying to play, like, another ridge. We get the big tag with the Orm. And again, if anybody's tagged with the Orm, that's pretty much game over. If you're within a certain range, because they're just not going to get the meds off. Send a nade over the top. Sometimes this means that if they're trying to med and the nade comes over, they get scared and they cancel it. And they have to keep running. It's basically like, I call it keeping them honest. Because we're in third person, you can just hide so much. And I call it keeping them honest, like, they just can't do that anymore to you. Again, check everywhere, check down low. He's obviously going to be rapping, like, close to the rocks, else you'd see him. He's actually laid him. Tried to play it smart on me. Tried to hit me with this stun, but I'm a bit too alert for that. But that can, you know, you get to these sort of stages of the game, and ratty plays like that can actually change the fortune of a game. Like, kind of lucky. Unfortunately for this time and him, it didn't. Zone's actually shifted into El Pozo. So it's going to be a slow ending. Like, just know it's going to be a slow ending. Try and pick up as much as you can coming into zone at this point. Because anybody that's already in El Pozo isn't really posing a threat right now. Because everyone knows what they already want to do, right? They're already sat playing scared. So they're not going to be taking too many of your kills. Like you say, we're on 17 right now and there's still 19 left. So it's even a potential 30 bomb right now that you can actually pick up. Again, not easy to do. You need a little bit of luck on your side because you'd still have to kill 13 of the last, 18. Just trying to hear those shots. We do hear them far away. We actually missed the Orm shot there, which I was hoping to pick up. But we see another two-seater bike, so we're just going to go grab that and start getting aggressive, holding out of zone, because they're going to want to move in, right? This guy actually had an angle on me. I couldn't tell where. So we're just going to try and cut it up. We're going to try and hold the ridges in front and basically gatekeep them. Because it's a hard shifting circle, it's going to close fast. And people are going to have to move. They're going to be very uncomfortable. And it's basically using the blue zone to your advantage instead of it being against you. You can just let everybody, like, kind of swarm in. Because they're all getting desperate. Because especially at this stage of the game, the zone's going to start chunking people. And the less skilled players probably aren't going to recognize that still. Especially the ones that don't normally make it this late. They've felt the blue in the early game and now they're feeling it in the late game. And they're like, ow, this is actually really hurting. And then they realize they can't outrun it. So you'll always see a few play zone deaths because of that. We're going to fully boost here. Just because I'm going to tank some blue. Because I'm looking for this player. And it looks like he's not wanting to leave. Either that or I've missed him. Because of all the ridges and stuff. He could easily have got away from this. Or even died. So there you go. You see one play zone right there. But we do have the bike. So we're fairly chill. Like I say, we're going to tank. But we're going to be fully boosted. So we're going to gain that health back. Oh. Watch out for those random trees, by the way. So you're going to be basically fully boosted. So you're going to get into zone. You're going to be absolutely big chill. And in case you take any fight, you don't need to put any boosters on after the fight. You can just heal and just get straight back to it. Especially when you've got more than one adrenaline syringe. I did hear shots like way out in the open, but look how many people died to zone here. It's exactly what I meant by, like, it's a hard shifting late zone. And when that happens, people that are in scraps or they're not looking to give up any ground, they just end up all dying to zone. It's kind of frustrating when you're going for a high kill game, but it happens. But again, sometimes it can be used to your advantage. Pretty sure this guy at the hay bales was looking to give me some trouble. I just saw him there. I felt the shots. Vehicle flies by. We actually target the guy on the left just because I'm kill whoring. Like, I just really want everything. Some really bad shots here. This is like really where it can get a bit dicey. He holds the peak, but we know where he's going to peak. And fortunately for me, even though I whiffed quite a little bit, we had the 3 gear and we had the AUG, which still packs a punch, even though it is a 5.56 weapon. And we're going to energy drink, get back up to full stim. So that was actually nice. Look at how many first aids this guy have. He had like so many. It's just not necessary. We see a guy up by the rock. And I look to pick him up. Really bad snipe there. I tried to predict his movement. Didn't. We hit him on that time. Don't want to be using too many arm rounds, but we do get the headshot in the end. So worth. Always worth. You may as well. You don't want to die with 20 rounds of arm, so you may as well get using them. But it's always frustrating when you kind of waste a bullet or two on a non-closed shot. So he was fighting somebody. We could tell by the way he was positioned and what he was doing that he was fighting, and we could tell with how he's positioned in TPP where the guy was. We actually have a guy that's close to us right here. This guy I did not anticipate, but he didn't really react to us at all. He didn't even get a bullet off. And the zone's kind of closing in fast here. But again, we're trying to listen out for everything around us. So that original guy was looking for has gone off in the buggy. We've seen another guy running in. And again, we want to mop up all these kills. So we don't want to give away our position. But we need to try and close down what's going on around us. So we're looking for this guy on foot. We're looking to stop that buggy from just getting into our poser. So again, this guy starts shooting him, and he actually takes some damage from the blue, and it'll cost him his life shooting because we knew exactly where he was. And I can't remember if the buggy actually stopped or not. But again, we took the med kit. As we used one first aid, we take the med kit. Med kit's like great because especially when you're running a 3 helm against a bolty, if you take a headshot, you can use the med kit after the bolt action headshot, and you'll be back to full HP. And if your 3 helmet still has some durability on it, again, you can tank another headshot, and it's incredibly frustrating to play against. You know, if you're like the M24 guy, K9 guy, and you're fighting against a 3-lid opponent that has a medkit, because they're straight back in the fight and they can tank another shot. And it honestly, it really is so frustrating. So right now, we're going to look to take this brick building. It's in the next zone. I'm pretty sure the boogie guy stopped here, so we're looking for him. And we feel like he could be TPPing us. So we see the guy in the window. Unfortunately, he gets a tag, so it gives us a bit of aim flinch. We re-challenge though from behind the tree. We get the peek, and we get the kill. Again, we want to stim up to full. This is risky though, because I'm medding right next to where I know players are. I'm pretty sure I've heard his footsteps within, but he's not looking to give us an inch. And there's actually a room in this building that like you can just sit, and there's one way in, one way out. And if you don't have a grenade, like they can just sit in there, and it's really frustrating. So right now we're just going to play King of the Castle. Boogie tries to roll past. We actually get a really nice snipe there. It's going to shut anything down. And like when you get a quick kill like that, it buys you so much time, because you're not trying to, you know, play about, trying to get a guy out that's trying to crash your building. It's just straight gone. Look for anybody else that's trying to do any damage to you. We only have 3 left, and we actually get blessed by zone. Like, look at that. Hard shifts again straight to us. So we can just, again, play King of the Castle. I know there's a guy in here. I just don't know where. So again, you use third-person camera because everyone else is. Use it to your advantage. Just look. A lot of people always sat in corners. Get a stun, you never know. You may as well take things. If you don't have anything in that slot, just take it. You never know. You might just end up in a situation where you need it. And again, this is where it all slows down a little bit. We actually see the guy move through the open. I'm going to try and get the snipe on him. Unfortunately, the railings are kind of annoying. It doesn't look like he wants to give us anything. He's definitely seen us up here. And then he's going to like slow play it. So I'm actually trying to bait him out to say I'm looking to the right. I do. I get the shot. And unfortunately he gets away to the little building. But that's good because now he's being shot in the back, which forces that guy into a pinch. Which means he can't get his med off. And we can actually pick this kill up. He gets a little bit scrappy, but we do pick up the kill. And we actually saw another player out. So he's actually done us like a great favor here. We throw a stun out to try and like basically disorientate him, and that basically you will not be able to hear the footsteps. Unfortunately he saw us though. The stun actually messes me up, but it's going to mess him up just as bad. It kind of resets the fight. There's a barrel which is nasty to fight against, but we actually take him down. So now we know the last player should be in this compound, like unless he somehow ratted out and got away from us. We saw his buggy pull up there, so we know that that's where he's going to be and how he's going to play it. So always full stim whilst you can. Zone is actually hard shifted now away from him. So we're in complete control of this game. And we can basically just work him out. We know exactly where he is. It's 1v1. We got quite a bit of zone. We're going to zoom out the sniper just so we don't get caught trying to look at a certain window and he pokes for another one. We're just waiting to see to actually reveal himself because he actually hasn't like this entire game. He's just driven on, and sometimes you just got to slow play it. Hopefully he'll peek. We play like a little bit aggressive here. I'm not at any risk here. Like he's not going to do too much. I've got full 3 gear on, so we're kind of baiting him out so I can take the sniper at him. And then he finally peeks, and we get the shot because he's kind of a scared player, you know. And that is how you get a 27 kill winner chicken dinner. GG's, guys. Thanks for watching. This has been a little insight into my solo games and a lot of rambling, but I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.